Snetterton, round one here of the MRO Powerbike Tour 2004. And we've got for you the Aprilia Thousands and, of course, those Supersports 400 as number 30 here. Ian Mackman comes down onto the line for the start of the SS 400 race. As we look a bit further, number 6 there is Ron Fry, but there are some girl racers in this particular class. Number 29 is one of them, and that, of course, is Juliet Manning. Is it tough out there today? It's windy.
It is very tough out there today. You go through the bomb hole and all round Coram, and you're just like, is the bike going to stay on the tarmac? Plus, I'm on a borrowed bike as well, which doesn't help. And it is, I must admit, it's quite aggressive out there today as well, which, when you're on a borrowed bike, it's a bit sort of, do you really want to go swapping paint with other people when it's not your paint to swap?
I'm sure Becky won't mind if you pay for a new paint job, but...
absolutely brilliant, actually.
Let's just bring Becky in. Just come in here, Becky, just alongside Juliet. You know, you race, but you've taken a bit of a break to start the season. Tell us why.
Well, I broke both my wrists at Brands Hatch, had a kill bend. I was just taking the lead in the race, and we had a collision with a chap who didn't want to give me the lead, and both ended up in hospital. Went back onto a bike for test day at Mallory, and within 2.5 laps got knocked off on a straight bit track, which I wasn't too happy about. Then we went to France together to go testing, and my fork seal was leaking and it was all over my tyre. First right hander came to, slid off, and then I got my ankle run over by a 600. Ended up in hospital, and then it was a week later and we had Brands, and I was fortunate enough to be 9th on the grid of the Supersport because I'd finished the rookie championship in second, and I just went backwards and lost all my confidence. Didn't like fat people coming anywhere near me. I was jittering and stuff, so I just thought I'd have a break this year and just do the nationwide. I'm not going to touch the MRO until I'm feeling a bit good, a bit more aggressive and really getting back into it again.
Are you happy with the fact that Juliet's got your bike today?
She can do whatever she likes. I want to see her do well.
You heard that? You can do whatever you like with it.
I trust her wholeheartedly. No, I want her to get out there and do it, big style.
What happens if she crashes?
Not a problem. We've got 2 weeks to get it ready. That's fine, not a problem.
So here we go, SS 400 race. Becky Cartwright there talking with Juliet Manning. They're not the only two girl racers. We've got Kath MacDonald as well, and Deb Cartwright. Incidentally, no relation to Becky Cartwright. It's number 17 then, Andy Sprake, that goes into the lead. 99 there, that's Jay Fernandez. As they come round on the first lap, Andy Sprake looking for a good start to the season. Number 6 is the man behind him, Ron Fry, Kawasaki, ZXR. All 400s, remember this. There are the occasional 250s in there, because this series, as those of you that know it well will remember, that replaced the old Aprilia 250 challenge, because Aprilia don't make the 250s anymore, which is a shame because I thought it was quite a good bike. There's one or two still out there, but mostly everybody now are changing to the 400s. And there is Juliet Manning going through on Becky Cartwright's bike, number 29. She's way down the field, so I think she's a little bit apprehensive about scratching that paintwork of Becky's. She won't mind. 17 leads it then. It's 99 now up into second place, so Fernandez, the number 5 bike there, Mike Waring, and he's on a Yamaha FZR, which is one of the very few ones out there, I've got to say. Kawasaki seem to dominate this class now. Keeps going like this, we could call it the Kawasaki Challenge, I think, instead of the Aprilia Challenge. We'll wait and see. It's an open class. They're not really on controlled tyres of any kind whatsoever. They can race what they want. Here they come through to complete another lap. It was Andy Sprake, number 17, that led last time round. Fernandez was the boy that was closing down on him and still is, and Andy's trying to make a break for it. Sprake is off and Fernandez closing down. Then we've got the 25 bike in there. That's Mark Garside, another ZXR Kawasaki. So it's a good class of the Kawasaki's. Leader, second, third, under pressure now from Ian Mackman. I remember Ian on the Aprilia 250, and Ian looking to go through. Has he made it through? I think he has. Very tight as they come up towards us here once again at the start and finish here at Snetterton. It's quite a windy day here today. There were high winds here on the Saturday when everybody was testing, and they had the Bempsey round. In fact, so much so that they had to shut the track at about 3:30 in the afternoon because a lot of hoardings, as they call them, had been ripped off of the bridges. So that gives you some idea of how strong the wind is and was yesterday. It's strong here today, although you wouldn't tell by our camera shots. But if you look in the background, you'll see everything blowing around. Okay, we're under pressure now at the front. No. The man on the 30 bike, Ian Mackman, didn't get through the third, but at the moment Fernandez climbing all over Andy Sprake at the front on the 17 bike. Fernandez looking for a way round the outside. You're not going to make it that round, mate. And you might make it going down into the S's. No. Andy Sprake shuts the door very convincingly. Look at we've got a good crowd here today as well, which is always nice. So they head up now to complete another lap. I'm looking to see Fernandez still hasn't found a way through. He's still trailing Andy Sprake in second place. He's looking for a way up the inside there. As we look back at some of the star riders, I can spot number 14 just went through. That's, of course, our old friend Andy Whitley. And as you know, former 250 Aprilia Challenge champion twice in a row. But he doesn't seem to be able to find the same speed. And we've got a change in the front. Fernandez has gone through. Andy Sprake down to second place. So whether Andy's taking a short rest here or not, I don't know. But the battle is certainly still on for third between 25 Mark Garside, of course, and number 30 Ian Mackman. But young Jay Fernandez leads this one. No change in third. I can see Andy Whitley just going through there on that 14 bike. Here they come, and Fernandez is pulling a gap. He's trying to make a break for it. Break the toe of the man behind. He's trying to get away. As the rest of the field comes through, that looks like Andy Whitley has just gone through. And of course, still on the Aprilia 250. Woefully underpowered, I tend to think, now against these 400s. But Jay Fernandez, don't know too much about this man. I'll have to talk to John Ward, the circuit commentator, about Jay Fernandez next time I see him. But the man behind him, Andy Sprake, was here last year on the 17 bike, and Andy closing the door, he's closing the gap, and he's looking for a way past. Up the inside, has he made it? No, he hasn't. Door firmly slammed in his mush. You're not coming through this way, says Fernandez. Maybe he'll outbreak him going into the top corner after the long start and finish straight. Here they come. Who's going to come out the other side in the lead as the rest of the field make their way through? Looking further back down the order. I'm having a look for Juliet. I think she's now fallen a lap down. There is Andy Whitley just going through. And we've got, yes, is that third place man closing up on the two in front? Yes, it is. Ian Mackman closing down on the two in front, so I'm not quite sure where Mark Garside's gone. He was around there. A little bit further down the field here, and leading that group, that's 36, that's Greville Ball, and he's got 22 behind him, Pete Spaulding, and there is Andy Whitley, number 14. So Andy running around 9th or 10th at the moment. Here's the battle at the front, and at the moment Ian Mackman not able to close down on the two out front, and Andy Sprake's gone back into the lead. Fernandez down to second, and Mackman there in third. So Sprakey now takes the reins at the front. Now he looks like he's trying to get away as well, so I don't know why Fernandez started to fall back into the grips of Andy Sprake. And Fernandez trying to pick it. Well, probably those back markers have had something to do with the change of order. I'm looking for Mackman, and we seem to have lost him as well. But here comes Andy Sprake to take the checkered flag, and the points here in race one of the SS400s here at Snetterton. So Sprake, it should be Fernandez, then Mark Garside, Ian Mackman, Mark Waring, Ron Fry, Richard Norris, Greville Ball there, Pete Spaulding, and Andy Wallace. Top 10. There he is, Andy Sprake, on top of the rostrum. We'll be back after a short break, this time with the Shell Aprilia Mealies. Welcome back then. This is the SS400s, Leighton Walker there, number 9, and we're under starters' orders already. This is, well, we call the 600s the Axe Murders. I think we're going to call these the the chainsaw murderers, because much the same, corner to corner, these guys are crazy. Here we go. Andy Sprake leads the series coming here today, number 17, and that is Andy Sprake that goes into the lead. So Andy determined to keep that championship lead, certainly leaving here from Croft today. And they're through safely. So it looks like Andy Sprake on the Kawasaki that leads them down the back of the circuit, which is the fastest part of the circuit. Or is it? No, I think it's not, because it's number 30. Well, there. That's Ian Mackman. There's the 17 bike of Andy Sprake. It was Ian Mackman that led them through. Oh, where's he going? Motocross racing. Has he stayed on it? Well, I don't know, to be perfectly honest. We couldn't wait that long to see if he was going to stay on the bike. But it's Mackman that leads them through. No, it's the 17 bike of Andy Sprake in second place. The number 5 bike there, Mark Warren, chasing down those two, and said they call the 600s the axe murderers, we're going to call these the chainsaw murderers, because they're just as bad. Corner to corner, elbow to elbow. This 400 class, of course, replacing, as Sprakey makes a challenge for the lead, replacing the old Aprilia 250 class, and it's growing in popularity, I have to say that. 36. Gravel ball, was that number 11, Richard Norris there behind him, I think? I can't tell, that was a 17 or an 11. Richard, for God's sake, put some better numbers on your bike so we can read the darn things. It's pretty tough at this speed. Sprake leads it. Mackman back to second, so Andy Sprake definitely saying, hang on guys, I want this is mine. As they make their way through on that far side of the circuit, here they come again. Oh, Mackman's gone back into the lead. That is, I think, Richard Norris there in third place now. Yes, it is Richard Norris. I can just about make out that is an 11. Richard, of course, an IT support manager for Towergate Underwriting Group. He's based in Romford. Wife Tracy here today, and of course his little daughter, Paige. Hello, Paige. We say hello to his little daughter. Number 5 goes through there, Mark Warren from Hereford. So Richard Norris, Southern SS 400 Championship. He's third in that at the moment, the BM CRC Championship. So Dynatech, of course, very responsible for the tuning of the bike and doing a good job of it by the looks of things. There he is, number 11. So right into our picture, Richard Norris. Wave to Paige, Richard, as you go through. She's probably watching. Tracy's probably biting all her fingernails off at the moment. 18 picks his way through there. Nev Potts. And it's getting pretty hectic out there. There is the race leader. Where is second? He's still there. Andy Sprake, yeah, still there, still. And that is, of course, number 11, as we've said before, Richard Norris. No relation to the Richard Norris who won the Powerbike Tour last year, incidentally, though they both have exactly the same name. Mackman, 30 on the bike, still leads this. 17 Andy Sprake, then Norris in third. Who is in fourth? Oh, I can't quite read the numbers as they go through. Our cameraman deciding to take a wide angle shot. Number 6 there, that's Ron Fry. And he's running down about 8th at the moment as the rest of the field come through. Number 2, that's just looking down here to see actually who that is. Number 2, and of course that's Craig Clark. And Craig comes from Grays. But that's the race leader, second. No change at the moment. Andy Sprake, I think, he's just biding his time. The track has dried out once again. 22 and 6. Ron Fry chasing down Peter Spaulding. 60, 8, 6. There's that number 2, and he's got it wrong. Oh, my God. Well, Craig Clark, that's a biggie. That he went straight into those tyres, and they are lorry tyres banded together. He's gone wide there, lost the front, gone for a big handful of front brake, as you can see, and gone straight into those lorry tyres. Well, car tyres, van tyres, but they're heavy no matter what, I can tell you. Those are heavy, and I think that's going to bring out a red flag. That's definitely going to bring out the red flag. Yeah, I'm not at all surprised, because I think he's pretty well duffed up after hitting those tyres at that kind of speed. So we're going to go back to a restart. Here they are. Clouds are beginning to form once again. We might get rain before the end of the race. So Craig Clark out of this one now, number 2. That was a big crash. let's hope it's not too serious. Here we go, Macman goes to the front once again. Sprake behind him in second place, then Norris. They'll all pick their way gently through that part of the track. That little chicane's been put in to slow them down off the start. They didn't used to be there. They used to go straight round the corner. But in sight of safety, they're putting these little tyre chicanes in. But I don't know, sometimes are they safe? When you see an accident like that, he just overran the corner and just couldn't pull it back in time. So 30, Macman leads. Oh, and who's into second place? It's Richard Norris, the Colchester-based Dynatech tune machine, into second. So that restart certainly done him a lot of good. Well, the sun's come out again over that side of the track. Oh, it's getting cloudy on this side of the track. That's how it is up here at Croft. You never can tell. Some good tussles going further on down the field. Ron Fry, he's in there once again. He's got the 22 bike behind him this time of Peter Spalding from New Milton. Mixture of Kawasaki's, Yamahas, Aprilias. There's a couple of Hondas out there, but it very much is a Kawasaki-dominated class, with the exception of, well, they've got one Aprilia there. It's Andy Whitley. Now, remember Andy Whitley, the 2 times Aprilia 250 champion? He's out there as well. They're going for this. Number 6 there, Ron Fry, really pushing on the pace. The track has dried out, so number 7 in amongst that group as well. That's Gary Budgeon from Southwater. It's tight racing. That's why I said we think we call these the chainsaw murderers rather than the axe murderers. They're just getting as bad as the 600 boys. They're to come on next week's programme. 30, Macman leads it. Where's Sprake? Oh, he went wide there. Very, very wide. Well, he's lucky to recover that, I think. Crikey, 25. Mark Garside from Fleetwood. I thought he was going straight off the track, and I think so did our cameraman. 47, oh, he's going pretty well at the moment. That's Niall Brereton, I should say, from Egham. I think I pronounced your name right. It is Niall, I think, Brereton. Not Neil, it's spelt Nial. There is, oh, and there is number 11. So Richard Norris dropping back to 3rd now. They're in amongst the back markers. 67 going through, and that's Andrew Gray from Driffield. But I think Richard Norris has lost a place. Macman still leads it at the moment. He's still out front on that number 30 bike. Andy Sprake will be hunting him down. There is Sprakey, the 54 bike, caught in amongst that group at the moment, and I think he is a back marker. That's Michael Saunders. I'm going to assume that because we haven't seen him earlier. But if I'm wrong, I do apologise. But that's definitely the race leader, Ian Macman. That's definitely second place. There's 3rd, and number 5, Mark Warren, pushing on the guys in front, so he's moving up the field. He's running about 4th at the moment, and so I'm not sure whether that 54 bike, Michael Sanders, is actually running in about 3rd place. But if he is, I do apologise, because it's not easy. 45 going through there, that's Matty Gowan. And as I said, the track has dried out, so speeds are beginning to lift. There's Macman going through, number 30 from Runcorn, up there around about Widnes area, heading up towards Liverpool. Famous bridge, Runcorn Bridge. 860, they're having a good old scrap. That's Simon Strutt on the number 8 bike. Number 60, of course, is Steve Kenny. 7 going through. Gary Budgeon with 48 behind him. Philip Apps. No, I hope I've pronounced your name right. APPS. Got to be Apps. A few new names we've seen this year and that we haven't seen before. So that's the race leader. Passing Juliet Manning back on her own bike, the Kawasaki number 29. There is Andy Sprake in second place, and Andy is definitely turning up the wick on this 400 race. He wants to make another win. He wants to go 50 points into the lead. Ian Macman will have something to say about that if he can. Macman on a Kawasaki, so is the man behind him, number 17, Andy Sprake. There he is, and there's the 6 bike there of Ron Fry. He's running down at about 6 at the moment. So Ron going well. Here they come, and well, as you can see, the gap between Andy Sprake 17 and the race leader Ian Macman number 30 has reduced considerably, and I think Sprakey is just lining him up for a pass. into the top corner. 6 going through. Ron Fry from, well, it's Isted Rise. Another Dynatec tuned machine. So the Dynatec boys have been working hard, burning the midnight oil, and they've got these bikes absolutely running perfectly. Andy Sprake chasing down the race leader, which is Ian Mackman. There is the 25 bike going through of Mark Garside. Where he is at the moment, he's running in the top 6. There's the number 6 bike of Ron Fry, also running top 6. So if any mistake the guys out front make, it'll let these people come through. And he's gone through. Sprakey has gone through into the lead. I'm not at all surprised, I was expecting it. Mackman pushed down to second place. They take it gently around that corner. They don't want to run wide. That set of tyres are there just waiting to grab you. And we've had some info up about Craig Clark. He's been taken off to the local hospital with a suspected broken shoulder. Let's hope it's not any more serious than that. 22, Pete Spalding from New Milton. Where is he running at the moment? About 7th. Oh, he's not going too bad. Here's Sprake. Kawasaki ZXR 400. So the most popular bike in this class now. Still got Ian Mackman on the same machine behind him. Another Kawasaki. All 400s, of course. That's why this is the SS 400 class. You can ride a 250 bike if you wish. That's what Andy Whitney's riding, the old Aprilia. I think it's time that maybe Andy got himself on a newer bike. Checkered flag then for Andy Sprake, with Ian Mackman chasing him through in second place. Well, he deserved that. That was a hard-fought race, but he got it in the end on the restart. Let's have a look at the confirmed results. It was indeed Andy Sprake that took maximum points from Ian Mackman in second place. Then Mark Warren, Mark Garside, Richard Norris finally finished 5th. Ron Fry, Peter Spalding, Steve Kenny, James Wainwright and Neil Brereton down there in 10th position with just 6 points. So Andy Sprake leads the championship. There he is in the middle, 50 points going to the next round. It's going to be something to look out for. So welcome to what one could only describe as a wet, windy and pretty dismal Alton Park here in Cheshire for round 3 of this year's MRO Powerbike Tour. Supersports 400s coming up first. The chainsaw murderers, as we call them now. Number 11, of course, is Mr. Norris, Richard Norris. And there's number 9, sits on the grid. Leighton Walker from Bourne, and 62 alongside those two, of course, is Dave Alsop from Ashington. Here we go, race is underway. And as we've now newly nicknamed these guys, the Chainsaw Murderers. The 600s are coming up later. That's, of course, the Axe Murderers. So it's a full grid. The conditions, as you can see, are extremely wet, cold, and not very pleasant whatsoever. I think this is now the 3rd wet event we've had from the MRO Powerbike Tour, but it looks like number 9 that's taken the lead. Leighton Walker has it with Norris behind him. Then it looks like the 16 bike of Simon Gates as the 99 bike goes through of Jay Fernandez, the Guildford-based rider. But down the hill for the first time into his it's number 9 from 11 that leads. So Walker from Norris, and of course if we look down our standings here at the moment, it's Andy Sprake who leads on 50 points with Ian Mackman in 2nd, then Mark Garside, and Jay Fernandez is down there in 5th. Richard Norris in 7th. Is the 29 bike of one of our very few female riders, Juliette Manning from Crawley. In fact, Juliette lives just 10 minutes down the road from our studios. She's obviously not enjoying the wet and slippery conditions, and it is slippery out there. April showers, as they say, or we're getting May showers now. It's still 9 that leads it, still 11 in 2nd place, so Norris not able to close down on the man in front. Looks like Ian Mackman on the 30 bike, very distinctive, that green machine. Catching up the 2 in front. Fernandez is still back there behind. That could be the 17 bike. It is the 17 bike of Andy Sprake. He's not had a good start to this run. A lot of work still to do, but he does lead the championship coming in today by a small margin. Not too much, 50 to 33 over Ian Mackman. Mackman currently in front of him on the road. Here they go. So Norris beginning to challenge. There is Sprake, number 17, just going through your picture, as the rest of the field make their way up over the top. 25, of course, is Mark Garside, and a change in the front. Norris has found a way through going into his. So the 9 bike of Leighton Walker, who led for the opening couple of laps, now back into 2nd place. Looks over his shoulder to see where the man is behind him. Just looking down the standings here at the moment, and I don't actually see Walker in the top 10 coming to this round. So I think maybe either a new face or he just hasn't scored too well in the 2 opening rounds. 58 there, that's Ian Smith from Prestatyn on the RJP racing machine. That's a Honda. Away from Prestatyn. Probably brought the weather with him actually. Not too far up the road in Wales. Here we go, and that's first and second, and Norris pulling away. Is Andy Sprake now up into 3rd place? No, he isn't. Still there in 5th. Macman is behind him. Then it looks like the 2 bike of Steve Tones for the Burton-on-Trent base riders. The rest of the field scrap for those remaining places. It's raining still, as you can see by our camera lens. Very difficult when you're shooting straight into the rain, but Norris it is. Well, many things we said about this young man in the past. It's still Walker behind him in 2nd place, and Fernandez has now gone up into 3rd. So Jay Fernandez looking for a good result here. The BHM Racing Kawasaki trying to close down on the 2 guys in front. And remember, Fernandez 5th in the championship, 20 points coming in today. So if he was to win this, that would give him 45 points going to the next round at Brands Hatch. So as we pick up a few of the slower riders, Ron Fry, what we call Ron Fry, one of the Dynatech boys, up there in the top 10 at the moment as they head up the hill, and we wait for the race leaders to come back around. Here they come, and we've seen a change. Oh, have we? No, that is number 11, and then I thought for one terrible moment then that Richard Norris had gone missing. So it's pretty dull and dark here at the moment, as you can see, and not making racing very pleasant for the guys, and certainly not pleasant for our camera crew. Still, they've all got pretty used to it now. We've had 5 events in a row that have all rained. They've all learned to go quack quack and grow web feet. Norris leads it, 11. It's still Walker 2nd, but Fernandez is closing up. Here's a good little battle for 4th place. Currently led at the moment by Simon Gates, number 16. Steve Tones on the tail of that one, but that's the race leader down the hill. It's still Richard Norris from Colchester on the Dynatech Kawasaki, so another Dynatech bike going pretty well. Fernandez closing up now on Walker, who currently sits 2nd, number 9. There's Fernandez, 99, so it's all the 9s at the moment for 2nd place. And Walker takes another look over his shoulder. I think in conditions like this, it may be better to look where you're going. That's the 25 bike down the hill there, again, of Mark Guy's side. That's the 36 bike of Greville Ball, got 62 behind him, Dave Alsop. So those two having their own little war out on the track at the moment. It's a lot to do with just staying on the bike, keeping that thing on the tarmac, because you can see there really isn't a dry line to speak of, more just like a continuous wet line. So as we wait for the leading group to come back through, and that looks like, yes, and Fernandez has gone through into 2nd place. Number 9, Leighton Walker from Bourne has gone down into 3rd. That looks like the 6 bike of Ron Fry, but that is the race leader, Richard Norris, the Colchester-based man, riding that Dynatech Kawasaki 400. And this is got a back marker nicely caught up in the way there. That was Peter Mitchell from Banbury. Well, he did pull over. And the 30 bike of Ian Macman there just going through the Runcorn-based man. But that's the race leader, the Dynatech man out front. Looking very, very comfortable at this moment in time, but the race is certainly not over yet. He doesn't look over his shoulder. That's the 31 bike down the hill of Julian Bull from Gwenoid, I think it is, if I get the correct pronunciation in Welsh. Gwenoid. Lived in Wales for a few years, so I picked up a few of the Welsh bits. I mean, language we mean. I know what you're all thinking out there now. Here we go. Fernandez is trying to close down on the man out front, 99. Is that still the number 11 bike of Norris out front? I think it is. Richard Norris is still there. We'll wait to see when they come back around again. Oh, someone's smoking, and that, I think, is Leighton Walker that's got a problem. It is Richard Norris that now has Fernandez right on his back door. So the battle is on. Now, that is the 9 bike of Leighton Walker that has a problem, and it's on now. Fernandez under braking in this wet stuff. It's a brave move for him, but he's going to go for it. So Jay Fernandez goes into the lead here on this Supersport 400 race. Round 3 here at Alton Park in Cheshire of this 2004 MRO Powerbike Tour. That's the 95 bike there of Richard Gregg from Dunstable in Bedfordshire, just up the road from where I live. He's obviously got a novice bib on there, so he's... oh, someone's got his foot out to let the race leader through. That's Fernandez. No, have we lost Norris? Have we lost Richard Norris? I don't know. That is definitely not second place, or it isn't Richard Norris. Fernandez has gone through, but I'm looking for the number 11 bike of Richard Norris. I think we may have lost him. Well, it's all going on, as we expect it would do today, particularly in this weather conditions. That's the race leader, Fernandez. Number 99, Jay Fernandez, up and over the hill. That is a back marker, and it is Andy Sprague that is now in second place. Andy Sprague has gone through. 95, Richard Gregg, and there is Norris. Well, that's either a machine failure or he's lost it on the track. Well, he's handed the win now, I think, to Fernandez, unless he indeed has a problem himself. Race is not quite over yet, but they're certainly heading up towards the finish. So Norris, no points for him here. Number 16 going through Simon Gates. Now, just checking to see where Simon is in the race order. I think he's up there in the top 10. There's the checkered flag. So who is it then that's been appointed the win? It is Fernandez from Sprague, from Macman, from Simon Gates, Ron Prine, 5th from Mark Garside, Colin Silkhorn from Dave Alsop, Simon Strutt from James Wainwright there in 10th place. But Andy Mitchell will be kicking himself a loss of 25 points. So welcome back here to Brands Hatch for our second race. This is Andy Sprague, number 17 on pole. Currently leads this 400 SS series with 70 points over Ian Macman, who has 49. There's the 43 bike there parked up. That's Ben Taylor, and that is Ian Macman, number 30. There is the number 5 bike there of Mark Waring, and here we go. Look at this, there's number 9. Look back there for number 9. That's Leighton Walker. He's on a two-stroke bike, so the lights have gone to green. I'll tell you a little bit more about Leighton Walker in just a moment. But meanwhile, they're off and away. These are now, we've re-nicknamed them. Well, all the staff at Dempsey have decided to re-nickname these guys. They're no longer the Chainsaw Murderers. They are the Junior Axe Murderers. So we have the 600s as the Axe Murderers. These are the Junior Axe Murderers. So obviously they're training. Ha! They're around that top corner for the first time. The hairpin. Fandango is Superman, number 99. They're talking about Jay Fernandez. So keep an eye out for Jay. He's a 22-year-old fitness instructor, lives in Guildford. Thank you, Bridget, for all the information you sent through to us. So he got his first bike 4 years ago. 125 was given to him as a present, and he started racing with the Dempsey in 2002. Here we go. Macman it is, number 30 at the moment. Andy Sprague, number 17. Looking further down the field there. Number 6 is amongst that group. Ron Frying tonight as they come around again. And remember, on the GP circuit, so we don't often see that end of it. It's Macman from number 5 at the moment, Mark Waring, as the rest. And there is the 9 bike going through there of Leighton Walker. So Fernandez is in there somewhere. He missed the race at Croft after trouble with his forks. Caused a problem. I don't know what sort of problem that would be. But keep an eye out for him, 99. One at Alton Park despite a crash and some injuries in the practice day. So he's a quick lad. We remember you up there at Alton Park. You were going well. So our 22-year-old fitness instructor. He's only been riding now, what, for 2 years? Well, 4 years in actual fact, because he was given a 125 bike 4 years ago. There is that man, as we spoke, Leighton Walker, 26-year-old, racing since 2002. He rides a Suzuki RGV 250 as the rest of the field come through. And the winner of the 2003 New Era F400 Super Club Championship. The first ever guy to win on a two-stroke bike. So keep an eye out for that man there, number 9. There he is. He's not a good start to this year. Problems at Snetterton, Croft and Alton, despite always qualifying work. Crashed out at Alton on the first lap. We remember that. He'll be hoping. He wants to be the first man to win this series on a two-stroke. It's possible. I won't rule him out for a chance on that one. But he's got to catch the guys out front. And the man at the moment out front is number 30, Ian Macman. He is second in the standings, as I said, coming here today. So looking at the point score at the moment, Ian Macman's got 49. Andy Sprague, the number 17 bike, has got 70. And Jay Fernandez down there in 3rd with Mark Garside in 4th. So you go for it, my son. There he is, number 9, Leighton Walker. As the rest of the field make their way gingerly through, hoping not to fall over each other like they normally do, these junior axe murders. Oh, and Andy's break there. Well, he was trying to get past Mackman and got it all wrong. Nearly went off the track. 5 and 6. That's 3rd and 4th. So Ron Fry and Mark Warren chasing over that one. 24 there, just going through. And that's Simon Hedge. Here they go. It's still Mackman that leads it from Sprake. Then it's the 5 bike of Mark Warren. Then it's Ron Fry, number 6. So that's the top 4 at the moment as they come through. Here's the rest of the field. I think that could have been the 21 bike I just glimpsed there. If it is, it's Stacey Godbold. Oh, somebody off there, and I can't see the number on the bike, so I'm not sure who it is. It might be Richard Gregg. Might be Richard Gregg, not sure. So here they come. 16 in amongst them now. Simon Gates. I can remember Simon riding a 250 Aprilia. Remember, this SS400 has replaced the old Aprilia 250 class due to the fact that Aprilia don't make 250s anymore. But it's Andy Sprake that's got into the lead. Mackman 2nd. Then number 5, and he's still in there, Mark Warren. Then the number 16 bike there of Simon Gates. Not sure, Mark, whether they pronounce his name as Warren or Waring. Maybe you can tell me at Pembury for the next round. I think it is Waring. 99, there is Fernandez. He's in there, Jay Fernandez. The fitness instructor going well here at the moment at Brands Hatch, but it's Andy Sprake, number 17, that leads it from Ian Mackman. Sits back there in 2nd. It's getting very tight, and 43 here coming through with 25. That's Mark Garside in the top 10. 43, of course, is Ben Taylor. And we're looking back, that's 29. Well, of course, that's Juliet Manning. Well, we did have a couple of other girl riders, but they crashed out on the early part of the race, so they're okay. Well, at least I hope they're okay. It was a big crash, but they seem both to have walked away or been picked up and carried away, whichever. We didn't quite see the crash, so we're not quite sure what happened, but they did crash out at the start of the race. So this is the tussle here for the top 6 at the moment. It's still number 17, Andy Sprake, that leads it as the rest of the field make their way through. Number 51 there, that's Gareth Roberts from Daventry. And Gareth running just a little bit further down the field, but still enjoying his race. It's a lovely day here today at Brands Hatch. Couldn't want for better. There is Andy Sprake. Ian Mackman is the man behind him, number 30. There is Ian, originally from Buckinghamshire, now lives in Runcorn with his girlfriend Jo. He works as an after-sales advisor in Warrington. What's that? Like, you bought the goods, thank you very much and goodbye. Number 5, coming through there, still in 3rd place, Mark Warren. Started racing in 1998, another 2-stroke lover, but raced Aprilia IS in 2000, 2002, finished 6th and then 3rd, and then moved on to this Kawasaki ZXR 400. Sponsors include BBN Office Furniture Supplies, of course his dad, Tony Mackman, and Howard Pearson Photography. Richard Norris, number 11 there, just going through, but we're back at the front, and once again it's still Andy Sprake from Mackman, Ian Mackman. Then it's the 5 bike, as I said before, Mark Warren. And this is that battle, and there is Fernandez. Well, he's pulled through one. He's gone past Simon Gates, so Fernandez is on a roll. Here's Sprakey. Well, series leader coming here today. Mackman behind him in 2nd place. If they stay like this, the points position will not change going to the next round. Round 5 in Pembury, which is in June. Not absolutely sure. 43, still on his bike and going well right at this moment. Ben Taylor from Hornchurch. And Ben running well down the field at the moment. Maybe he's had a little bit of a problem, I don't know. So a lot of these riders not used to riding this full circuit here at Brands Hatch, the GP circuit. It's still Andy Sprake then that leads it. Mackman still there in 2nd. So trying to put pressure on the man in front, hoping he might make a mistake. Here they come onto the start and finish straight for the final time. So this is 1 lap to go. If Ian Mackman's going to do it, he's got to do it now. Here comes Andy Sprake. Well, so far he's been faultless. Hasn't made any mistakes at all. Mackman sits there behind him, and Andy Sprake. Oh, and Sprake in trouble. Andy Sprake's lost it. He's definitely lost it. Well, the 43 bike once again coming through there of Ben Taylor, but Andy Sprake definitely lost that bike. So where is he? And there he is. Well, he's got back on it again. Well, he's uninjured, and he bashes himself on the helmet because it's a silly mistake. I think the back end got away from him under power, a little bit previous on the throttle, but it's Mackman then that's going to take 25 points, and he's pleased about that. There it is. Jay Fernandez up to second from Simon Gates and Ron Fry. Mark Warren from Leighton Walker and Richard Norris. Ben Taylor, James Wainwright and Stephen Kenny in 10th position. What a race and what a turn up for Ian Mackman. Well, there he is. Definitely pleased about that result, and so he should be. Andy Sprake kind of gave it to him, I think. So welcome back here. This is Pembury round 5 of the MRO Powered Bike Tour. The SS 400s, or as we call them, the Junior Axe Murders. Number 17, Andy Sprake leads them down onto the line. It's Andy Sprake second in the standings coming in today with 70 points behind Ian Mackman, who is on 74. There is number 6, right in our picture there, Ron Fry. Number 30 is Mackman, of course. Ian will be hoping to get a good result here. Number 5 is Mark Waring, the Hereford-based rider. Here we go. Lights are about to change to green. And a good start there for 25, Mark Guyside from Fleetwood. Well, right up the outside he went. It's dry at the moment here at Pembury, although we do have a threat of rain later in the afternoon. Let's hope it stays off. Well, it's number 6, Ron Fry, then, that leads them away. Well, that's a little bit of a surprise. I expected Andy Sprake to be out there, but no, Ron Fry has decided that it's his turn to have a go at this one. So the SS 400s leading the way. Let's have a look where he's Ron. 4th in the championship, 44 points. He's 65 points for Jay Fernandez. So a chance here maybe to close up on Fernandez if he can stay out front. So Ron Fry leads it. That does indeed look like 25 Mark Garside in second place. And I did say he got a great start. There is Mackman just going through number 30, the series leader. So he really wants to finish in front of Andy Sprake. The reason for that, there's only a few points that separate those two at the top of the championship. So, but it's Ron Fry, Garside. I think that's the 16 bike of Simon Gates. There it is indeed, Simon Gates in 3rd spot at the moment. So I think that's Andy Sprake back there in around about 6th place. I might be wrong. I think that's his leathers, but it's all a bit of bumping and barging going on as they come out of that bottom corner. Very competitive class, these 400s. Remember, it replaced the older, prettier 250 class, and they're into their 2nd year, and I have to say it's become very successful. An oversubscribed grid lineup, as for qualifying usually, and it's making to be some good racing. They're all, of course, 4-stroke machines, as the Aprilias are all 2-stroke machines. There is the odd Aprilia still out there. Occasionally you see one going round. Well, you actually hear it going round rather than see it. Nev Potts has got one. Neil Fowler rides one as well. But, this is a mixture of Kawasaki's, Yamahas, Suzuki's. Here they come, and look at this. It's, 1, 2, 3, 4. I would say about, was 5 abreast at one stage there. So no change. It's still Ron Fry at the moment. Garside in 2nd. The top 4 squad, and number 5 into that. Mark Warren into that little group now. So Warren also having a look for top points in this race. That could be Mackman up the inside, number 30. So where is Warren? He is 5th in the standings, 41 points, just 3 points behind Ron Fry, who's on 44, who currently leads this race. So there's no change in the top 3. Mackman beginning to make a move. I think that's Andy Sprake behind him. Number 17, those leathers do look rather distinctive as the rest of the field begin to thin out just a little bit. This top, where are we? 1, 2, 3, about 6 riders all chasing that leading spot, held at the moment by number 6 Ron Fry, and he really is having an inspired ride here at Pembury. So here they come again. It's no change, and there is Mackman, and there is Andy Sprake right alongside Mackman. So the two at the top of the standings going side by side, corner to corner. Number 55 in amongst that group, that's Steve Smith from Holland. As we turn our attentions back to the front, it's still Ron Fry that leads it from Isted on the Dynotech machine. One of a couple here, Richard Norris, also rides a Dynotech machine. So does Juliet Manning, and so does Greville Ball. And Juliet, of course, Greville, both are doctor racers. So for those of you watching out there is an organisation called Adopt a Racer. Any amount of money you want per month, 10 quid, doesn't matter, 5 quid. If you want to adopt a racer, you can check them out on their website. Here they come. It is an expensive sport road race, and a lot of these lads put every penny they have into it, along with money that they borrow from either their parents or from other sources. And to go racing it every weekend, it is very, very expensive. So hence the Adopt a Racer, you see. You can adopt a racer and help these guys race. And believe you me, they'll be very grateful of the support. Here they go, then it's still Ron Fry that leads it. Looking out for Andy Sprake, number 17. I think Andy has now moved up and past Ian Mackman. So yes, indeed, Ian, the Runcorn based, or has he? He has indeed, yes, because he's on the door now, 25 Mark Garside. So Mackman dropping off the pace just a little bit. It is really hectic here at Pembury. Here comes Sprakey, up to 4th, number 5 in 5th, Mark Waring. So they go down to that bottom, very tight right-hand corner. First gear on most of these bikes, hard on the brakes. 37 there comes out of there. That's Dudley Tanton from Ashford. And of course these guys running a little bit further down mid-pack. But here's that up-front battle. And it is 16 then that's with them. Simon Gates. Simon looking to get a good result here. As is Mark Warren, as is, of course, Ron Fry and Andy Sprake. And here they come once again. And it looks to me like Garside hanging on to that 3rd slot. Andy Sprake trying to find a way through. And so is Simon Gates. He keeps having a look up the outside, coming down into this corner, but just can't seem to find that little bit of extra drive onto the start and finish straight. Here we go again, down to the bottom end of that start and finish straight, hard on the brakes for the right-hander. They go right into a little chicane, then they reappear on the left-hander. There's someone here running a little further down the field. That looks like number 7, indeed it is. That's Gary Budgeon from Southwater on a Kawasaki, having his own little race out there at the moment. Okay, we've got a change at the front. Simon Gates has gone through. That's a back marker they're just about to go past. He looks over his shoulder and moves over very politely. Nice bit of racing as the rest of the field make their way through. 88 in amongst that group. Quite sure who that was, to be perfectly honest, but I'm sure whoever's watching at the moment will know exactly who 88 is. Okay, here's the leading group once again. It's still 16, Simon Gates. Now, have we a change for second? Has Andy Sprake gone through to 2nd place? They come round that corner. No, he is in 3rd, but he's climbing all over Ron Fry. And Mark Waring there, battling at the moment with Mark Garside, number 25. These back markers, of course, can and do make a difference, particularly on a short track such as this one. And it is Andy Sprake that's gone to 2nd. Well, I have to say I'm not at all surprised by that. He has been he's been pretty dominant this year in these last couple of rounds, so Andy really has got his head together and has got that bike working absolutely perfectly. So here they come, 16 leads, Simon Gates, Andy Sprake 2nd, Ron Fry 3rd. Looking a little further down the field, that looks like that could have been Ian Mackman that's gone through. I'm trying to pick up some of the numbers. They're such a long way off here at the moment. I think that was number 9 there, Leighton Walker, that just went through. Andy Sprake having a look at the lead as they come down to the end of the start and finish straight on the brakes. A Sprake, he made it tight on the inside. And the answer to that is he's... Oh, and I think, yes, he's made it. And I think that Simon Gates may have lost 2nd. Here they come, back markers coming through. We'll get it. Yes, Sprakey. And yes, it's Ron Fry gone back up to 2nd. Simon Gates dropping back to 4th, so I don't know what happened there. He got a little bit psyched out by the move that Andy Sprake popped on him up the inside, and I think he possibly went a little wide. There is Mackman. So not a good ride for him, as I've already said. 27 amongst that group just a moment ago. So we rejoin the action back out front, and Andy Sprake looking very much like he's on course to take another bag full of maximum points, but I think Ron Fry may have other ideas. There are 2 back markers ahead of them, 3 I think. So as I said, it's a question of you take the right line around the back markers, you'll get through. 96 just going through there, Jackson. Here we come. This is the battle for the lead. 17 and 6. Andy Sprake, Ron Fry. Not sure who. I think that's Mark Garside. There is that number 9 bike who was in 3rd. That's Leighton Walker once again, who currently at the moment running around about 8th. So not a bad one for him. And well, there is Andy Sprake. Now where is Ron Fry? The gap between those two. There he is. So as I said, those back markers really can make a big difference. Should you decide to go up the inside of the back marker and he moves over and the other guy's gone on the outside, well, the obvious outcome is obvious, as they say. You're going to go the longest way around, you're going to lose the most amount of time. So it really is a bit of a gamble which side you go, back markers, right or left. But Ron Fry's got through and is now beginning to close that gap up once again with our race leader, Andy Sprake. There he is, number 17. The back, you just see the back of him going through there. Ron Fry behind him. I think that's Garside that's there in 3rd. There's that number 9 bike once again of Leighton Walker. 37 just going down there. That's a Dudley Tanton. Here comes the race leaders. Andy Sprake looks over his shoulder to see where 2nd is. I'm trying to sort out 3rd at the moment. And it looks like number 5, Mark Warren, that's there in 3rd in amongst those back markers. But here comes Andy. He takes the checkered flag, maximum points then. It was Ron Fry in 2nd. Mark Warren got through to 3rd from Simon Gates in 4th. Pete Spalding, Jane Fernandez there, James Wainwright, Leighton Walker, and Sam Bishop and Danny Palmer rounding out the top 10. So welcome to Brands Hatch here, round 6 of the MRO Powerbike Tour. This time we're on the grid with the SS400s. Keep an eye out for number 17, Andy Sprake. He leads the standings on 95 points coming today. Ron Fry, number 6 there on 64 points. He's back in 4th place. There is Andy Sprake, number 17. Look out for Ian Mackman, number 30. 2nd, there he is, 76 points, and Jay Fernandez, 99, who we just caught a glimpse of. He's 3rd in the standings on 75 points. So still very much a lot to race for. The championship is certainly not all over, but Ron Fry's got an absolutely cracking start. He went from pole position, so a good shot. He's obviously on form here today. Likes this Indy track at Brands Hatch as they come up to the hairpin for the first time. It is Ron Fry then that leads them through. Looks like Andy Sprake back there in 2nd place, and of course Ron from Isted Rise on that Dynatech machine. So obviously they've got that dialed in pretty well. 17 Andy Sprake from Hampshire on the Rencullum tuned Kawasaki. I can see Ian Mackman going through there as well, number 30 from Runcorn. But the battle is certainly on, and it is Ron Fry, Andy Sprake. Then we've got the number 20 bike there of Pete Spalding from New Milton. He's in 4th place as they go past us here at the start and finish, heading back up towards the hairpin again. And it is number 6, Ron Fry, that has got a, well, I'd say convincingly, but he's certainly started to break away. And so has 2nd place man, number 17, Andy Sprake. So these two having their own little war as the rest of the field play catch-up. And these two front runners, both on Kawasaki's incidentally, making a break for it. So 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th still yet to be decided. There's a whole gaggle of them there. 26 going through there. That's James Wainwright from Thamesmead on a Kawasaki. And you can see how close it is. But these are the two making that breakaway. It's 26 is in 3rd. Mackman is there. So is 35 Thomas Dean, I think that was, from Tunbridge. But Ron Fry leads it. Andy Sprake, series leader. It's between these two. Well, I'd say it's between these two for the championship because Sprakey leads the series and Ron Fry back in 4th. But a good finish here certainly won't do his chances any harm whatsoever. It depends on when Andy Sprake finishes. If Ron Fry was to win, Andy Sprake was to finish 2nd, that's only a 5 points difference, but look at Sprakey. I think he's pretty determined. This looks like 25, yes it is, and 42. Phil Polden there from Whittam on the fast Welk Racing machine. 29. We just caught a glimpse there of 29 going through. That's Juliet Manning. She comes from Crawley, just down the road from our studio. So there is, I think it was 23 just going down there then. That's Sam Bishop from Norwich. But here's the two out front, and it's still Ron Fry. Frying tonight, so he will certainly be frying tonight if he wins this. Still Macman in third as the rest of the field make their way through, and Simon Strutt from Southampton, number 8, was amongst that group. But here we are back at the front once again, and it's still Ron Fry that stays out front. Quickest in qualifying, placed him on pole. Now, what can that man do? Andy Sprake. He's a farmer, I believe. Number 42 just going through there. That's Phil Polden once again. As the battles continue further down the field, it is it's number 20 that's there in third place now. So Peter Spalding up there, 23 going through as well. Sam Bishop from Norwich. So look at this. Andy Sprake having a little look at this one. He's closed the gap on the race leader, as the rest can just squabble over the remaining places. I think that was Simon Hedges, number 24, going through there. But no, it's still number 6 that leads. Who is it that's third? It's still number 20, yes indeed. Peter Spalding having a good ride here today. He obviously likes this Indy brand circuit. Who's behind him? 26 and 5. So Mark Waring. And at 26, of course, James Wainwright from Thamesmead. Waring coming from Hereford. Oh, and is Sprakey gone past? These are the battles for further down the field. Number 9 there, Leighton Walker from Bourne, having a good look at that one. But there's the leader. Oh, there he is. For a terrible moment, I suddenly thought Andy Sprake had gone missing. But he's there, right on the back wheel of Ron Fry, so he's given him a wake-up call, I think. And I think Ron Fry's going to have to put the hammer down a little further. The trouble is, when you push as hard as these boys are pushing, that's when problems can occur. That's when those little slip-offs can happen. That is the 27 bike there of Neil Fowler from Lowestoft. But it's still 6 from 17. That's first and second. Third was number 20. Still is. Fourth is number 5 battling for it. So Mark Waring having a little look at that one. There is Fernandez, number 99. Another one of our adopter racers. But no problem for the man out front at the moment. Ron Fry. That looked like Juliet Manning just going through. Number 7 there, and that's Gary Budgeon from Southwater. We look a little bit further down the field as number 37 comes through. Dudley Tanton from Ashford. And number 8 there behind him, that's obviously Simon Strutt. Travelled up from Southampton, a little trip up the either the M3 or the A3, and turns right down the M25. But there's no change at the front. Already they're beginning to get in amongst the slower riders, the back markers. There's 35. Well, that's Thomas Dean from Tunbridge in Kent. He's got 27. Well, 27, as I said before, is Neil Fowler just going through. So 29 is Juliet Manning, incidentally, if I got that number wrong a little earlier. Juliet, of course, one of 2 girls that race in this series. The other one, of course, being her best friend out there at the moment. Number 39, of course, is Becky Cartwright. And remember last time we were at Brands Hatch, they crashed together. And they still don't actually remember what happened. Let's not forget Kath McDonald as well. She's out there somewhere. Well, she rides in the series. I'm not actually sure whether she's here today. But Kath McDonald from Cambridge usually rides the 94 bike. Not sure whether Kath is actually with us. Of course, yeah. Let's remember Deb Cartwright as well, number 33. So we do have some feminine influence in this 400 race. It's nice to see the girls out there. But they're not battling with these guys. Andy Sprake still there in second place, chasing down Ron Fry. There's the 7 bike once again of Gary Budgeon. Running about 12th at the moment. There's the 27 bike with him. So those two having their own little war. Neil Fowler. I remember Neil is on the Aprilia 250. I have to remind you, this 400 class did in fact replace the old Aprilia 250 class, and as a result we still got a few Aprilia 250s out there. There's actually a Suzuki out there as well. There's a Suzuki 250 in the hands of Leighton Walker, so let's not forget Leighton. He's doing quite well. I'm told with good information that he actually won the 400, the Bempsey 400 series last year on a 250, and that's never been achieved before. How fast would he go if you stuck him on a 400? I wonder. Maybe someone out there will give him a try. Fernandez going through, 99. As the rest of the field scrap it out for those remaining places. Sam Bishop there on that 23 bike. There are the race leaders. They're up amongst now the back markers. And Jason Webb from West Malin, number 98, is about to go a lap down on the two out front. They're clearly through. So young Malin moved over and led them through, which is good. Or was it Morlin? So we look a little bit further down the field. There he is. 23 behind him. So the slow riders, of course, being lapped as you would expect here on this Indy circuit. It's quite short. Last time out here, we're on the Grand Prix circuit. But here he comes. Number 6 and 17. Leader Ron Fry. Andy Sprake, number 17, in second. In amongst the back markers. 36 once again. Greville Ball, another adopter racer. 25. And that's Richard Keehan from Portsmouth. Oh, 27's out of it. Whoa. Neil Fowler. Obviously something has gone wrong with the machine. He's out of this one. As there is Fernandez, number 99, another adopter racer. There's Juliet Manning, 29. But here comes the man. Ron Fry has led this from the change of the lights as he goes past Simon Strutt, number 8. I think this time round we're going to see the yellow and black. The last lap flag, indeed we do. So I think now that Andy Sprake has decided that second is good enough. They're in amongst the back markers. Still a chance for Andy Sprake to pop a surprise on Ron Fry, especially when you consider the amount of back markers that are in front of these two. So as the rest of the field come through, number 9, Leighton Walker, there he is on that Suzuki 250. Put him on a 400, somebody. There's 39 there going through, and of course that is, as we said before, Becky Cartwright. Bad ride from young Becky. Here he is, and all those back markers. Oh, this could all end up in disaster. Oh, they're not taking any notice of him. Come on, boys, move over. And Andy Sprake having a look, I think, round the outside. He might go for the dash for the checkered flag. Who's going to get it? Sprake up the inside, Ron Fry up the outside, and Fry gets it. Well, confirmed the winner from Andy Sprake in second place, then from Spalding. Leighton Walker there on that 250 Suzuki in fourth. James Rainwhite, Ian Mackman, Richard Norris, Ben Taylor, Jay Fernandez, Greville Ball in 10th. Round 7 goes to Cadwell Park. We'll see you there with all the MRO action. Well, it's a warm welcome here to Cadwell Park for this 7th round of the Powerbike Tour, and these of course are the Supersports 400s. Number 5 there, Mark Warren, and number 20, Pete Spalding. It's Andy Sprake, number 17, who leads the series, but not a good qualifying session for Andy. I think he's on second row of the grid. But here we go. So the Supersports 400s get underway. Who's going to make that all-important first corner? Number 9 going through there, Leighton Walker on the Aprilia 2-stroke. And Leighton, of course, a former champion in other classes, and one of the only people, really, one of the very few people riding this series on a 2-stroke machine. Most of these are all 4-strokes, but it's 20, I think, that leads. It is indeed. So Pete Spalding, a good start for him. And Peter at the moment 6th in the championship, 43 points. A lot to do if he wants to get on terms with the guys out front. Number 5 is the man behind him, Mark Waring, and he currently sits 5th in the standings with 57 points. So he also needs to work quite hard if he's going to get on terms with the guys up that are currently occupying those top 4 positions. It's Andy Sprake, Ron Fry, and Mackman and Jay Fernandez, top 4. And I'm just looking, there is Andy Sprake, number 17. We've got a good scrap on at the front because Mark Waring is having a look at this one. There is that number 9 machine of Leighton Walker, the 250 Suzuki RGV. So considering the fact that the young man is on a 2-stroke bike up against these 4-stroke strokes, I reckon he goes pretty well. So he's back there in 5th spot at the moment. That's Jay Fernandez, number 99, one of our adopter racers, just there in front of him as the rest of the field come through. Number 7 and number 60, our own little scrap going on there. Gary Budgeon Number 60, of course, Stephen Kenny. But it's 5 now that leads Mark Waring. Spalding behind him. I keep looking back for Andy Sprague. He's had a wretched time here this weekend. Just doesn't been able to sort of get the thing where he wants it. Look out for Ron Fry, number 6, he's in there as well. We're looking for that top 3. Well, at the moment we have got Ron Fry and of course Jay Fernandez up there. But as I say, Andy Sprague, not a good day for him. So here in Mark Waring is that leads. Spalding still, I think there is... No, it's not. It's number 30. So a quick change there. Ian Mackman coming through to occupy that second place. Then it's Spalding. Then it's Fernandez, 99. There he is. And that immaculately turned out machine. Now he's got that number 9 bike of Leighton Walker there right behind him. So Walker having a good scrap here. That looks like 85. Indeed it is. Just going through there. That will be Peter Lowes from Seven Oaks on the Hodson Engineering Kawasaki. Ooh, someone got a bit of a wobble on there. That curve does indeed catch a few people out as they go into that little tight right-hander chicane, but it's Waring that leads it. Mackman still there with Spalding. There is the number 6 machine going through of Ron Fry, so he's trying to close up on the guys out front. And a chance here for the second and third places in the standings to close up on Andy Sprague, who at the moment is languishing down in about 12th position. So Andy's got an awful lot to do if he's going to score some decent points. Waring leads it. Mackman, there is Fernandez in 4th on the 99 bike. Closing down on the guys in front. So maybe there's a chance there. Jay Fernandez, 22-year-old fitness instructor. He lives in Guildford, so he should know what he's doing out there. That looked like number 4 just going through. That's Nick Chadwick. Nick, another regular racer with us. But it's 5 that leads. Ian Mackman second, originally from Buckinghamshire, now lives in Runcorn with his girlfriend Jo, and works as an after-sales advisor in Warrington. Well, what are your advisors on? Started racing in '98, another 2-stroke lover. But he's having a good ride here at the moment. Dynatech tune machine, and the suspension set up by Case, incidentally. Just give you a mention there. It's Andy White's business. Of course, John O'White's son rides in Supermoto. A little bit of diversification there for you, but it's still no change in the front. Mark Waring still has it. Mackman is there in second. Spalding, Fernandez, Walker and Fry. That's your top 6 at the moment. Now, are we going to see any changes? This circuit at Cadwell Park, absolutely spectacular as always. Just adds for some great racing. It's just a shame that we can't have a few more cameras around it. But budgets are budgets, as they say. And Waring it is, well, he's really got this one firmly wrapped up at the moment. Only a mistake or an engine failure or a machine breakdown will, I think, deny this man the maximum points from this race. 55 just goes through. Steve Smith from Holland. And there is that number 4 bike of Nick Chadwick from Great Barford. That's an Aprilia 250 apparently. So a little bit down on power, as one would say. Here they come out of that there's a new chicane just around that corner which we can't actually see. There is Mr. Walker, number 9 Leighton Walker from Bourne on the Suzuki, and he's really chucking that bike around. Mackman with Spalding behind him, so that's the battle for second place. Waring is out front now and just charging off for this one. Fernandez is still there, so is Ron Fry and so is Walker. There is Andy Sprague. Well, I don't know what's going on there because he's not having... Oh, nearly off the bike then. Did you see that? Just caught the wheel on that. There's a pretty dangerous part of the circuit there. You just catch the wheel on it and it throws you off the bike. You should do something about that, I think. Walker going through. He's having a good race, he is. But so is this man. Mr. Waring out front. Mark Waring looking very good at the moment from Hereford. He's on the Yamaha 400, the FZR, a good bike. Kawasaki seem to be the favoured machine for this class, but there's a Kawasaki, and if we're not very much mistaken, Mr. Fernandez is also on a Kawasaki. So basically it's a Yamaha leading a whole bunch of Kawasaki's. Ooh, we got deep then. The front wheel was trying to get away from him, but Mark Waring held on to it. Mackman, Spalding, Fernandez, Fry, and the little machine there, number 9, Leighton Walker. He is trying so good. I think he must be squeezing the tank with his legs to try and get a bit more out of the engine, but it just ain't there, is it? He's up against 400s. Nimble little bike around this track. Number 23 going through. Sam Bishop from Norwich. And Sam running a little bit further. You see that? You can just see that hole there, just by the edge of the curbing. That's what's catching some of them. Not a good. Needs to be repaired. That. Someone needs to have a little word with Jonathan Palmer over that, the owner of the circuit. Could throw you quite nastily into the wood section there if he came off. Oh, he looks over his shoulder. Mark Waring knows where he is. Just having a quick sneak preview of where second and third are, in case they try the old sneak it up when he's not looking trick. Oh, we've got a good scrap on now for second and third and for fourth. So if they come round, no, it's still Macman, and Fernandez has still got that fourth place. So despite the gap closing between those four, no change. And right behind that lot, waiting for a mistake, is Leighton Walker. Oh, 16 bike going through, and that's Simon Gates from Stockbridge on a Yamaha. As the rest of the field just pick up the remaining slots that are available for them. But this is a great scrap. All for second place at the moment between, I have to say, four. Leighton Walker sits back there waiting for a possible error from any of the guys in front, but I have to say these guys are pretty good. They're not going to make it too easily. Watch them as they go through this piece here. You'll just see that hole on the right hand side of the curve, just there. That's it. That's what they're catching. Where it is, way out front, but look at this battle for second. 1, 2, 3, 4, all five of them, and here comes Spalding up the inside of Macman. Fernandez looking up the middle. Walker at the back of that group. The race leader beginning to extend his advantage even more over that chasing pack, but there is nothing separating that next five through. And well, look at Spalding. Peter Spalding from New Milton was climbing all over Ian Macman. Now can he find a way past him? Into the dying laps at the moment. Whoa, wide there for Ron Fry. Fernandez keeping a tight line. Leighton Walker looking for a way past him. Well, and Walker closing up on Fry, so we might see a change there. That's the 16 bike leading a whole gaggle, including Andy Sprake. So Sprake from East Tissed. Simon Gates leads him at the moment, but here is the race leader. Mike Waring. Mark coming through to head up into that twisted little wooded section, past the cafe here, the little restaurant at Cadwell Park. Now look to the right, you'll see that hole in the track. There it is. They've all missed it so far. 43 up and over the top. That's Ben Taylor from Hornchurch. Another Kawasaki. Again, watch that. You can just see that little hole needs repairing. Well, I'll hark on about that, but I'm thinking of the safety of the lads out there. Here we go. Race leader. Now we've got a little bit of a breakaway for second place, and I think Peter Spalding's gone through, and so is Fernandez, and so is Fry. Well, Ian Macman must have a problem of some kind, or he's made a mistake somewhere. This man's not making any of them. Mark Waring, the Hereford-based man, travelled all the way up from, well, almost South Wales, isn't it, Hereford? Mid to South Wales. Making no mistakes. That's the 56 bike going through with the race leader about to go past him, so that's Matthew Norman from Hemel Hempstead. Well, that's the son of my printer, Gary Norman. He's changed up from the 125 class into these 400s, and Matthew just finding his way around. Hasn't been racing much this year because his father had a sort of minor heart attack, and they haven't been able to come to the races while Dad got well. So best wishes to Gary if he's watching this, and we'll see you on Saturday at Silverstone. No, we'll see you. Well, we would have seen you last Saturday actually. Here we go. 20. Well, Peter Spalding making that mistake and letting the other guys through. 16 and 58. Well, they're having their own little war here. And that's John Oakley, incidentally, from Lincoln on the 58 bike. 16, of course, is Simon Gates. Here we go. Last lap flag has gone out for number 5. Mark Waring, it is. It's going to go through. Second place, no change at the moment. So we still have, well, it's Peter Spalding, I think, has got back up to second. Oh, it is second now for Peter Spalding. I should say not back. He got up there in the end. He didn't get back up there. He's trying to catch now Mark Waring. I don't think he will. Fernandez is third, Ron Fry is fourth. Ian Macman is fifth. The poor old Leighton Walker on that little two-stroke is still chasing the guys in front. So Walker down in 6th. Behind Walker we've got Ben Taylor, then Simon Gates and John Oakley. So we saw them just a moment ago. Number 4 going through there. Nick Chadwick, he's down in 12th at the moment, so with the whole gaggle chasing him down. So we need to hang on to that. And we've got a back marker about to get lapped. Number 29 it is. That's about to go a lap down on the race lead. That's Juliet Manning from Crawley. That's just down the road from our studios. And she's a very nice girl. I don't know her that well, but she's a very nice girl. So we're going to see the checkered flag out next time, and there's that little scrap, as I did mention earlier, between 16 and 58, Simon Gates and John Oakley. But it's going to be number 5 then, Mark Waring, that comes through to take the checkered. Last lap flag goes out for the back marker, but there's the checkered. Second place will be Peter Spalding, and he did indeed close the gap, and he's happy for that, doing his aeroplane impressions. That's one way of getting around the track, I suppose. Waring then, from Spalding, from Fernandez, our Dr. Racer, Ron Fry and Ian Mackman, Leighton Walker, Taylor Gates, Oakley and Sam Bishop on the 23 bike. Made it through into 10th place for the 6 points. Welcome back here then to Silverstone for this MRO Powerbike Tour. These are the Supersports 400s, or as we call them, the junior axe murderers. Yeah, they become senior axe murderers when they get into the 600 class. Number 30, that's Ian Mackman dropping down onto the line. Ian there. Number 20 alongside him, that's Peter Spalding. Number 5, of course, is our old mate Mark Waring. But 99 on the inside, Jay Fernandez. He's got 43 there, Ben Taylor alongside him. That's the front row of the grid. Here we go. Where is Andy Sprake? He is the series leader. Coming here today, Andy Sprake. And I've heard all sorts of stories that Andy's been having all sorts of mechanical problems. Never mind, Andy. You lead the standings coming here today, so let's have a look. You will lead 120 points. The nearest guy to you is Ron Fry with 102, so you've got 18 points advantage. Jay Fernandez is the danger man at the moment, 98 points, 3rd position, and Ian Mackman in 4th position on 97. Mark Waring on 82 points in 5th position. Oh, somebody is out. Is that Andy Sprake that's just gone on the side of the track? Someone pulled out, hand up in here. No, it isn't Andy Sprake. I saw the colour of the machine and I was getting a little bit panicky there. It's Fernandez that leads. Number 6 coming around behind. There he is. That, of course, is Ron Fry, 2nd in the championship. So Andy Sprake, that's the guy he's got to worry about. 18 points the difference. If Andy doesn't finish this race, that man will, depending, of course, where he finishes, could overtake him in the championship going to the next round, which is, of course, at Linden Hill. The final round at Brands Hatch, double points on offer at the final round, so even if you're not leading the championship by the time you leave Linden Hill at the next round, there's a chance you could still win it on the double points system at Brands Hatch at the last round. And I'm also told that James Toseland is coming to join us at Brands Hatch. So we'll have an interview with James, who of course is the new World Superbike champion. He's following in the footsteps of Neil Hodgson from last year, so well done, James. So he'll be with us at Brands Hatch. We'll have a chat with James and see how he feels about the championship, and see how he feels about, after all, this is the sort of area where he came from. A lot of the top riders did their apprenticeships here in the MRO Powerbike Tour, particularly in those Aprilias. This is a new class for this year, of course, the 400s, replacing the old Aprilia 250 class, and I've got to say it was the right decision, because this has been great racing, brilliant racing with these guys. 92 there, that's Richard Newman. It's a Yamaha FZR, but this is the battle out front. Fernandez with number 20 there, Pete Spalding behind him. Then number 5, Mark Waring. Here they come, Fernandez. Waring still back there in 3rd place, trying to close up. Very competitive class this, all 400cc machines. I don't think they're on controlled tyres, if I remember rightly. I think they have a choice whether they want to run. But here they come, Fernandez having a great ride. Now, if I remember rightly, Jay Fernandez is one of the adopted riders, so that looks like the number 9 bike. Yes, there's Leighton Walker. Now, remember Walker on a 2-stroke, you can hear it. He's on a 2-stroke Aprilia. Doesn't stand an awful lot of chance against these 400s, but he's on that bike and he's going like a rocket ship. Sorry, it's not Aprilia, my apologies. It's a Suzuki RGV. Why, I thought Aprilia's God only knows. It's a Suzuki. You've got to get a 400, boy. But despite that, I have to say, he's going great. And is it changing at the front? Whoa! Pete Spaulding had a look up the inside of Fernandez, and Fernandez just wiped his nose there. He ain't coming past me, pal. Ian Mackman's there in third place now. So Mackey's moved up a couple of places. He's got past number 6, Ron Fry, and Mark Waring, number 5. Now, where is Mark Waring? He was out there, but I don't see him now. Well, I'm sure he'll pop up somewhere in the equation. This is the battle for the lead. Fernandez still has it. Mackman's making a move on the outside. No. In the end, he's going to make his mind up which side of the track he's going to use in a minute. You keep going, mate. You're going to run out of track. All those nice gravel tracks ready to accept you willingly. At least it's not wet here today, so if you get on the grass, you've got a chance of getting away with it. Mackman with the yellow rear mudguard section, seat mudguard section. Fernandez is the boy that leads it. Jay Fernandez on the 99 bike. Well, there is the number 5 bike, so Mark Waring is still there. Whether he has a problem or not, I don't know. But he seems to have dropped off the pace. These guys are really starting to pet this one up. They're doing laps of around about 109.20. That's an average speed of around 82.21 miles per hour. So 109.20, that's pretty quick around here, you know. Here we go. I have to say now that the 400 race has got to be one of my favourites. Tight at the front. Fernandez leads 99. 20 Spaulding. Oh, number 5. Mark Waring back on the case. There's number 6. Ron Fry. Now come on, Ron. You got a chance here maybe of taking the lead. Looks over his shoulder. He's looking for Andy Sprake. And Andy Sprake is a little further back. So a chance here of maybe either narrowing the gap or snatching the lead in the championship. Fernandez, back marker there. Moves out the way, fortunately. Top 4 coming through. Like the proverbial freight train that they normally are. And Jay Fernandez, well, he's having an inspired ride. Currently sits in the standings third, 98 points, just 4 points, I should say, behind Ron Fry, who's currently behind him. Ian Mackman on 97, and Ian also behind the race leader. If Mackman can win this, and they are... is that Mackman that's gone into the lead, or is that Spaulding? Well, there's a lot of argy-bargy. Oh, and he's out. Number 5, Mark Waring, out of this one. Well, it's given up. Something's gone wrong somewhere. He's looking down. Well, that won't fix it, mate. Someone else will have to. 43 comes through around the corner. I think it's 43. It's Ben Taylor. And there's number 7. That's Gary Budgin. Is that Andy Sprake? No, I can't. I'm just trying to... The sun's shining down on their numbers. They're on the wrong side of the bike, but here they come. That's the leader. It's Ian Mackman now that leads. Spaulding second. So, Mackman there. If he wins this, that'll be 25 points. Now, what will that do for him in the championship? Well, that will definitely hoist him up to around about 3rd or 2nd, depending on where Ron Fry finishes. There is Andy Sprake, number 17, running down in around 8th at the moment. So Andy's having a dreadful time it is. Well, he's got a little bit of leeway, but not much. And I have a tendency to think that I'm just looking down, trying to work this out in my head while I'm talking to you. If Ron Fry can finish sort of top 2, top 3, there's a chance that he could move into the lead in the championship. However, if Ian Mackman scores, that could put him into 2nd in the championship. Well, you sit down with your pens and papers and do your calculations. It's far too difficult for a poor old commentator like me. So it's Mackman from Spaulding. Great race this has been. Fernandez is dropping off the pace a little bit now. And it's a win then for Ian Mackman. He'll be pleased with that. Spaulding in 2nd. Ben Taylor got himself up to 3rd. Well, Jay Fernandez dropping down to 4th, and Ron Fry in 5th. Simon Bishop, Leighton Walker 7th. Andy Sprake got through to 8th, and Gary Budgin. And Simon Hedges there in 10th. But, well, you do your calculations. I have a feeling if I sit here and add things up quickly, Ian Mackman has definitely moved up in the table. Going to the next round at Liddon Hill, of course. Good ride from him. Entertaining to say the least. No doubt about that. So welcome back here to Lyddon, and 99 Jay Fernandez, the adopter racer, coming down onto the line. Ian Mackman, number 30, alongside him. There is Ian. Let's have a look at the standings. Well, Andy Sprake leads the series, 128 points from Ian Mackman on that number 30 bike. Then it's Ron Fry. There is Fry in tonight. Ron Fry, number 6. He's third with 113 points. And Jay Fernandez fourth with 111 points. So, Andy Sprake on that 17 bike, not on the front row of the grid, incidentally. Got a lot to do. He's got to win. As Andy Sprake, he's got to keep winning, or at least stay second or third, because they said the gap between first and second is only 6 points. Second to third, 9 points, and third to fourth is just 2 points. So it's the number 5 machine of Mark Waring that's gone into the lead. So where is Mark? He's currently 6th in the standings, 82 points. So if he can pull a couple of wins together, there's certainly one here. One race, of course, for these guys. Unlike the Aprilias, they get 2. So one race and one race at Brands Hatch. And remember, it's double points down at Brands. So the championship could be decided at that Kent circuit. Ian Mackman got number 9 behind him. Well, you know who that is. That's Leighton Walker. Well, of course, Walker on the 250cc Suzuki RGV, one of the very few two-strokes that's out there at the moment. These are all primarily 400 machines, mixture of Kawasaki's, Yamahas. There's the occasional Honda out there as well, I have to say. Let's not forget Honda. So it's Ron Fry chasing first place at the moment, Mark Waring. Look out for number 20, Peter Spalding. He's in there as well, and Peter currently sits 5th in the standings, 83 points. So, as I said, there's a lot to race for. There he is, Peter Spalding going through. That's the 26th, I think the 26th bike just gone through. I might be wrong on that one. Yes, it was James Wainwright. So as they circulate this rather small but quite exciting circuit here at Lyddon Hill, there he is, 26, young Wainwright. Currently 10th in the standings with just 40 points. This is the man that leads, Mark Waring. He had Ron, I think it was Ron Fry that was behind him just a moment ago. Haven't got any changes as they drop back down again. It's a very small, very tight circuit here at Lyddon Hill. 5 leads. It's 20. Spalding now second. Ron Fry in third on the 6 bike. P9 for someone called Taylor. That would be Ben Taylor, I think, on the 43 bike. Not that far behind Leighton Walker, to be perfectly honest. And there is the 20 machine of Peter Spalding. Right up behind the number 5 bike now of Mark Waring, and then the number 6 bike of Ron Fry. So the first 3 starting to break away. Oh, back end of that bike, skipping all over the place under the braking on the uphill section. See him going for big handfuls of throttle as he flips it up through the gearbox, drops it down again, lays it over for the long right hander. Whoa, that was close. Well, Mark Waring, well, he got himself all unseated there. Got himself onto a little bit of something that was a bit slippery, and he was lucky to pick that one back up again. But that's given Peter Spalding a chance to take the lead. Now, can Mark Waring come back at him? Can Waring get on terms with the leader once again? Or will that little incident play in his mind? It's just unhinged him a little bit. That's of course if he's not already unhinged. We call this class the junior axe murderers because the senior axe murderers are the 600s. And I reckon you've got to be unhinged to ride in it, to be perfectly honest. It's the class that replaced the old Aprilia 250 class, and I have to say, I think the choice to change classes was the right one. Number 6, Ron Fry. We've had some great racing from these guys. We really have. It's been brilliant. Oh, and round the outside. Well, that was the number 5 bike of Mark Waring going around the outside of a back. I would presume that was a back marker because it certainly wasn't the race leader. There is the race leader, Peter Spalding on the 20 bike. They're already in amongst the slower riders. Not at all difficult here at Lyddon because it's just a small circuit. Weather could not be better for the racing here today. It's quite warm. I won't exactly say it's sunny, but it's warm. So track conditions are absolutely perfect. There's the leader, there's second. He looks over his shoulder, looking for third place man. Now, is it James Wainwright that's gone up to third? Still P9 for young Ben Taylor. He hasn't been able to get himself any higher on the leaderboard so far as his pit board informs the rod as he went through. That's second place. Early race leader. Here comes the leader. Coming up amongst the back marker there. I can't see who it is, but he's determined to win this one, is Spalding. I think this might be his first win of the season. Now, if Spalding wins this, that'll push him up, depending on where Jay Fernandez finishes, that would push him up to maybe fourth. And he won't get him up to third with Ron Fry, I don't think, no. But he may go past Fernandez. And we've actually lost Jay. He's gone out on lap 3. So Fernandez gone missing. The Adopter Racer, he's gone off the track somewhere. So that's, as far as we're concerned, that's one position move for Peter Spalding. He's going to go up to fourth, going to Brands Hatch for the final round. So I reckon it's going to be between about 4 riders for the championship. Peter Spalding having a great ride, looking down to see where Andy Sprake is. He's running 6th at the moment, so that would mean that if Ian Mackman can finish, well, I think Ian's good. He's running 4th at the moment, Ian is, so I think 4th to 6th. No, I don't think there'll be no changes there. Here they come. He's that. Well, there's Wainwright, 26. Wainwright in 3rd, trying to catch the 2 men in front. So it's not over yet, as they say. It's certainly not over to the checkered flag swings. So I'm just trying to do some mental calculations here. Andy Sprake, 128 points. Ian Mackman, 2 places in front of him on the track. So I don't think we're going to see a change there. Ron Fry, he's running still in 5th place. So again, Ron won't be overtaken by Fernandez. Peter Spalding's the man that's going to move up. He'll move up to 4th, I think. Here he comes, the number 20 bike. Gets the last lap flag. One more circulation here at Linden Hill to go as he picks his way gingerly past that slower rider and running down, further down the order. We've got number 56 Matthew Norman now from Hemel Hempstead. Oliver Linsdale also rides in the Aprilia 125 class, having a ride in this class as well. Must have a rich dad, can afford 2 entry fees. We've also got Kath McDonald, number 94, one of our few female riders out there in this class as well. So as he heads down, this will be the checkered flag next time round for Peter Spalding, on his way to take that checkered flag right about now. There it is. So a clear win there for Peter Spalding. 2nd should be Mark Waring. Here he comes. Oh, it was so close. Look at that. 3 of them side by side. James Wainwright and Ian Mackman all side by side, but the glory goes to this man, Peter Spalding. He made good of the mistake by Mark Waring, and he went through and he didn't look back. So a great ride from the youngster. He'll be happy with that result for sure. Let's have a look at the official results. Peter Spalding, Mark Waring, James Wainwright, Ian Mackman, Ron Fry, Andy Sprake, Leighton Walker, Ben Taylor, Simon Hedges and Phil Bolden. Well, it's all going to happen at Brands Hatch, and we look forward to seeing you there for more MRO Powerbike Tour action. So after all the 3-wheeled action, we're back to Brands Hatch for more of this 2-wheeled action. Round 10 of the MRO Powerbike Tour. These are the Supersports 400s as number 43. That's Ben Taylor comes down onto the front row of the grid. And this championship could not be closer. James Wainwright, number 26. Another new lad. That's the 30 bike of Ian Mackman from Runcorn. And Ian will be looking for the result here today if he can get it. Number 20, well, you know that is Pete Spalding, New Milton, and there he is. Andy Sprake, number 17, leads the standings coming here today. There's Jay Fernandez, number 99, another one of our adopter racers. So let's have a look. Andy Sprake there, just 3 points in front of Ian Mackman. So that's the race. Ron Fry in 3rd, then Jay Fernandez 4th, Pete Spalding and Mark Waring. Any one of these theoretically can win this today, depending of course on where they finish. Remember, it's 50 points for the win, 40 points for 2nd, and 32 points for 3rd. So normal 25, 2016 doubles up. So it's the number, I think that looks like 30 Mackman that's gone into the lead. Jay Fernandez there on the 99 bike, beautifully turned out machine from Jay. So as they make their way around Brands Hatch on the first lap. And who is it's going to come around that corner in the lead? It looks like Macman. Is it? Yes, the number 30 bike, or is it? Yeah, it is Macman. So remember, if he finishes, if he wins this, and Andy Sprake finishes third, Ian Macman will be the champion. So 50 points, only 3 points between those two at the top of the table. So Andy Sprake has got to finish in front of Macman. So we'll wait and see how that develops. The race in its, of course, early stages, only a couple of laps in now, so we're going to change at the front, I think, because yes, indeed, James Wainwright has gone into the lead. So Ian Macman pushed down to second, Andy Sprake there in fourth. So as the rest of the field, we call these now the junior axe murderers, as you know. The 600s called the senior axe murderers. These are the juniors. I have to say that since the introduction of this 400 class, it really has developed quite nicely. But number 20 there is coming through. Pete Spalding didn't get the greatest of starts, but he's beginning to make up for it. Fernandez there having a great battle with someone. I couldn't quite see who it was. Oh, and out goes 84. Well, that's David Twyford from Hayes, but he's got back on the bike. So obviously the marshals and the scrutineer, they're happy with things. Nothing's bent at all. Here we go, 3 abreast. Oh, it's all going to... I think this could all end in tears, you know. We call them the junior axe murders because they're just rehearsing and practicing how they're going to deal with 600 racing. And we don't know how crazy that lot are. Well, they're queuing up now for this one because Wainwright leads it. Looks like the 20 bike of Pete Spalding now second. Macman third. I can see that 70 machine of Andy Sprake in that group of 5. So I think Andy's just... he's back in 5th at the moment. He's behind Macman. Now, Sprakey has to ensure that he finishes in front of Macman. Remember, only 3 points between these two. Andy Sprake leads the championship. Macman is in second. So as far as Andy, I think, this is all going to end up in the kitty litter. Oh dear, I mean, greatness. I was saying that since the introduction of this 400 class, it replaced the old Aprilia 250 class. Oh, they're all go. Oh, well, there you go, simultaneously falling off. Well, that's one for Bike Crash Crazy Series 2, isn't it? You'll regret doing that, lads. You're going to be seen many thousands of times again. Locking up together. I didn't quite see who they were, actually, but nevertheless, they've gone down. I've got a feeling. Let's just check our lap sheets, get an idea who that may have been. It could well have been it's either Phil Apps and Patrick Mills, I think, may have gone down together. Here they go. And Andy Sprake's still there in 4th. He's got to finish in front of Macman. Remember, there is a 10 points different. If, well, no, it's 10 points if you win, of course. If you finish second, 50 points for the win, 40 for second, 32 for third. And there is the man out front, Pete Spalding. Now, Pete's, I remember, 6 in the championship coming here today. So he's not going to win it, but he certainly could well end up in the silverware. The big battle is now for in second place on the track, because that's the battle for the championship lead. Number 38, that's Oliver Linsdell from Westoning on the Flintwick motorcycles. It can only Flintwick, that's up in Bedfordshire. Number 3, and that's Doug Lloyd from Barnet in Hertfordshire. 20 leads, Spalding. Now, who is second? It's Macman. 26, the man, the early race leader, Jamie Wainwright. I'll get me tongue round your name in a minute, Jamie. Here comes the number 7 bike. That's Gary Budgeon from Southwater, having his own little scrap there with number 42, Phil Polden from Whittam on that fast. Well, I think it's Welk Racing. I'm not quite sure whether I pronounced that right. So Macman it is now. So I said 3 points separates Macman and Sprake at the top of the championship. Andy Sprake needs to finish basically either in front, or if that's, let's have a look where they are now. So you're looking at Ian Macman's second, so that would be 40 points. That would be enough to give him second in the give him the lead in the championship. So Andy Sprake always being held up there by that 26 bike of James Wainwright. Further down the field, that looks like 38 leading that small group, and that's Oliver Linsdell, as we said before. So there are some scraps further on down the field, but the big scrap, of course, is out front, because that's where the silverware is about to be taken at the end of the year. Macman. Where is the 17 bike? There he is. Oh, well, 91 is a back mark, if I'm not very much mistaken. That's Richard Newman from Colchester. Now get out of the way, Richard. You're in the way of the boys out front. Here comes Linsdale once again. And he's having a good old race here, you know. He's Oliver. Around about 8th at the moment. So he's got number 7 there still behind him. That's Gary Budgeon. So these two having their own little private war. Well, there's about 4 of them having a private war there. Here comes the race leader, number 20. Well, Pete Spalding has decided to go off and win this all on his own. It really, well, it does affect what could happen at the top, of course, but it makes life a little easier for Sprake and Macman, because there was a 10 points difference between first and second, 32 to 40, so an 8-point difference there in third place for second. So yeah, you do your arithmetic there at home, you'll work it out. 50 for a win, 40 for second, 32 for third. This is the man that's going to take the 50 points if he stays where he is. Number 20 just going through, Pete Spalding, and there, Andy Sprake. Well, you can see he's trying everything he can, Andy. He really is got his head down here. He knows, and those pit board will be telling him he knows what he needs to do, and he's got to finish in front of 30. Here he comes, up the inside of the 26 bike of James Wainwright. Did he make it? And the answer to that is no, he did not. Yes, he did. Oh no, he didn't. Well, James Wainwright refuses to budge. Whoa, almost on the grass there as he got up alongside Macman. That's the number 9 machine there of Leighton Walker. Remember, Leighton on the Suzuki 250. So Leighton, I have to say, has done remarkably well this year. I just hope he gets on a 400 for next year. He'll have more of a chance, pal, you will, on what you're riding now, I'm afraid to say. I think he'll be out front if he's going to do the 400s next year. Looking forward to that. So, Sprakey there. Up behind Macman now. There's the race leader, Peter Spalding. So if Macman finishes second and Sprake finishes third, they are side by side as they're coming into that group of 2 back markers. It will go the way of Macman, the championship. Sprakey's got to finish in front of Macman, so that's an 8-point difference between second and third. There are 3 points between them at the top of the standings, so Sprakey has got to finish in front of Macman. If he doesn't, he's stuffed it. He's not going to win the championship, and he will be devastated, and so will his girlfriend. I heard this rumour that if he wins a championship, he's going to propose marriage. So if he doesn't, he's got out of it. So I've got a feeling he'll want to win. She's a nice enough girl, so I can't see any reason why he doesn't want to win. She's supported him through his racing career, so you've got to remember the girlfriends and the wives are out there supporting these guys, and there it is, and it's Macman that's won it. Macman wins the championship. Sprakey finished behind him, and that's Pete Spalding. Well, we didn't see him go down, so Pete Spalding lost it on the very last lap. Well, how about that? Macman took second, which basically meant he took first, because Spalding crashed, so he took the 50 points, and 10 points in front of Andy Sprake. Well, what can you say except well done, Ian Macman, and well, it's commiserations to Andy Sprake, but you still got to ask her to marry you, mate, I'll tell you that now. So there they are, and the 26 machine there, well, James Wainwright, he finished 4th, Ian Macman took the win, Andy Sprake was 2nd, Ben Taylor of course was 3rd, as you saw in the results, but poor old Sprakey, he will be. And there is Dawn, his girlfriend. She says, don't show this. Well, that's the recipe for being shown, I can tell you, Dawn. There they are. She's got tears in her eyes, and poor old Andy. There is Ian Macman. He is the new champion. Well done to you, Ian, mate. Well, Tracy presents the trophies. Andy Sprake there. And, of course, Ian Macman, the new 400 champion for 2004. Ben Taylor there in 3rd. Well, that's it for the 400s for this year. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you've enjoyed the programme. We'll see you next week.